One thing I would do differently would be to build a team where I would delegate more the non-core items so that I could focus more on strategy. My name is Fırat İşbecer. I'm from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm a technology entrepreneur, founder of Commencis. It's a software company. We build software for large enterprises. We have data analytics products, and we also do software services and cloud services for them. I'm also an angel investor at the same time. I do invest in startups early stage and try to grow them together and try to make an impact in the ecosystem. So building a company for acquisition, I can talk about this because my first company was, I built the company and it was acquired. Actually, we didn't build it to get acquired. It was built to survive. It was actually something we wanted to be sustainable, but all the stars were aligned at some point, and all the elements that we were actually focusing on were also aligned, and we were acquired by our largest competitor. So the company was called Positron. We were focusing mobile software, mainly mobile banking software, as a technology company. And the growth was great because we created the company before the iPhones came out, and when the iPhone came out with the mobile software and the iOS, the area just exploded, and we were able to ride that wave to our acquisition a couple of years later by a company called Monetize, which was then our biggest competitor in the region. So what were the elements that made us get acquired? Actually, I asked this question to myself a lot. I think there's 5 big elements. One was, of course, the talent. My team was pretty talented, and the company that wanted to acquire us needed that talent. The second was actually the product. They really liked the product and how robust we were with our technology. So that was the second element they actually were looking for. The third was the regional and the geographical fit, which was we were mostly active and we also mostly acquired banks in Turkey, Eastern Europe, and the Middle East. This was a geography region that our acquirer wanted to penetrate into. So the fourth element was our clients. We had some really good brands, logos in our portfolio, and financially we were making money. Our growth was great, our top line revenues were good, our bottom line was profitable. So clients and the economical element was quite important here, and then we actually were doing really well in that case, and the acquirer also wanted to have that element. The fifth element I think we had, which the acquirer wasn't very much interested in, was our brand equity. The brand equity was important within our clients and within the region, but the moment they acquired the company, they changed the name to Monetize, and they dropped Positron, which was becoming a regional brand. But of these 5 elements, 4 were relevant. The talent was relevant, the product was relevant, the clients and the financials were relevant, and the geographical fit was relevant. So 4 out of 5 helped us reach to $100 million of valuation, where it was a quite big multiple in terms of 2014 numbers. Back then, $100 million was basically a unicorn. 8 years later, it's the numbers and the story has changed, but 8 years ago, this was a pretty big number. If you are going through an acquisition talk, it's very important to understand the psychology of that acquisition and the dynamics. First of all, you need to ask the question to yourself, who needs who most? If the acquirer is desperate in terms of buying you, you will have a room for negotiation. But if you're really willing to sell your company, then the negotiation window is a little bit more closed. So you really need to understand the psychology, and you really need to understand that to be able to reach the end result that you're trying to achieve, the psychology must be right. Okay, so let's say all the 5 elements were aligned, all the stars were aligned, and you went through with the acquisition. Congratulations, first of all. Then you need to ask yourself the question after the acquisition. So what's going to be my new role? It's a big transition actually. Even though you're expecting some changes, it's even more than that. So when we were acquired, the transition was quite big because we were the founders of the company. We could make decisions in a very fast manner. But after the acquisition, it was mostly a London-based company where the decisions were made by the board in London, and we were just executing those decisions. We were given a say, but it wasn't important enough, and it wasn't enough for us as entrepreneurs who's been running their businesses from scratch since inception. So that transition is something that you really need to be prepared. I've been on the both sides of the equation right now. I was a founder, I sold my company, I was acquired. Then I also started investing in small startups as a seed investor. I've acquired businesses, small businesses, but I did acquire businesses. So I've been to both sides of the equation. If I were to start again all over and start a new company built for acquisition, one thing I would do differently would be to build a team where I would delegate more the non-core items so that I could focus more on strategy. Because focusing on strategy to be able to lead the startup is more important than actually running some day-to-day things and also doing micromanagement. So to be able to strategize the right path, the acquisition path the startup is going towards, you need to have a stellar team where you can actually delegate the most important aspects of the business while you are focusing on growth strategy and the exit scenario. So the acquisition, or we can call it the exit, it's always been perceived as the end, like the end game for most of the entrepreneurs. But I sold my business 8 years ago, and it was just the beginning for me. In the past 8 years, I've learned so much after my exit that the previous 8 years just seems like a history for me, because after the exit there's so many new things that you're exposed to in life, such as new connections, seed investing, being a part of a bigger company, new opportunities that come to you, the popularity and everything. So it's very important, and I think it's just the beginning.